Hello BookTube and welcome to the Dyslexic Reader. For those of you who don't know, my name is Hannah and I have an exciting little announcement for you guys today, as you probably know from the title of the video. I've decided that I am going to create the Rory Gilmore Readathon. I'm going to tell you all about it in a little minute. So first of all, when will this be taking place? It'll be taking place the whole month of March 2019. Secondly, what is it? What are the goals, challenges, themes, that kind of thing? For those of you who maybe don't know, Gilmore Girls is a popular TV show about a mother and daughter, and Rory is the daughter of the two. It is my favourite TV show of all time, and Rory is an extreme book nerd. People have put together a list of every book that she ever mentioned or is seen reading during the whole TV show, and it's quite a comprehensive list. I believe it's over 300 books, and it will be linked in the description. The goal is just to in March read as many as you can or as many as you would like to off this list, so at least one. You could make up your reading, maybe just one or two of these, and then the rest whatever you want, or you could try and read one of these a normal book, one of these a normal book, or you can try and make your whole month reading this. So to read one book of this list is, I think, accomplishable for everyone, and also they tend to be older books, as the TV show was. I don't want to say how long the TV show was, bound to be more than 10 years now, and it so a lot of them are available, you know, secondhand, library, Kindle, quite cheaply, so you should be able to get a hold of these books, which I know can be an issue for some readathons when they do Goodreads and stuff. Sometimes they're new releases and they're not really accessible to everybody. I have been doing this challenge for myself for a couple of years now. I actually have this really old notebook, and as you can see, I went through and I have written down the whole list. You can get it online, I'll link it below, but I had written them down so that I could cross them off, and I was actually going through them last night, and there is 339 and I have so far read 60 of them. So obviously there's some books in here I'm never going to want to read, but there definitely is some more books. I would love to get to 100 even, or 114 or whatever would be the closest full number to a third of the challenge. I think that would be really cool. That's kind of a goal, but I don't push myself. I don't say, oh, I'm going to read one a month or whatever. I just sometimes look at the list and find that I've read ones off the list that I didn't even know were on the list, and then also look at their list and be like, you know what, I've heard so many good things about that. I'm just going to go and put it on hold at the library, and sometimes I get inspired this way. So I've had this little book for years, working my way through it, but I want to share with you guys some easy options off the list. So if you're thinking of doing this, I'm going to try and say a couple of easy options, how it's accessible to everybody. Well, firstly, there is a lot of kids books in this. There's a lot of Dr. Seuss, a couple of Harry Potter books, Wizard of Oz, those types of things. So that's easy accessible for anybody. As I say, that again, they're shorter. So if time is an issue or reading level is an issue, then definitely you can still participate. You can read one of those books. There is a lot of classics in the books. There's a lot of Dickens and Tolstoy, and as we know, Rory was a crazy book nerd, so she has a lot of Shakespeare and all the names that you will know a lot of these books anyway. But I think that's, some of those are longer, War and Peace is in there, but I think that also might give someone, if someone is looking for motivation to read more classics or to read longer books, you could use this kind of month as an excuse to tackle those, because again, a lot of classics and longer books are on this list as well. There's a lot of non-fiction on the list, if that's your taste. Every genre of fiction you would want, from horror, romance, comedy, short stories, there's poetry collections, and there's also a lot of non-fiction. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm not seeing any, and it's the books calling me out. Some of these could be non-fiction. I'm not 100% sure obviously with the blurb of every single one of these books. Oh, I was really hoping to... Well, George W. Bushisms by Jacob Weisenberg. I'm sure that's probably non-fiction about George W. Bush. There's Gone with the Wind is on there. I hated the movie so much I don't think I'll ever tackle the book. The Fountainhead, Franny and Zoe. Fiddler on the Roof, I read that one. It was good. There's some Ray Bradbury in there. And I'm still Fatland by Greg Chrysler. I believe that's a non-fiction. So there is really tastes for everybody in here. So as I said, I think it'll be absolutely, totally reasonable that everyone should find one book that they're even interested in reading out of 340 odd books of such a wide range. I think I've mentioned like this list to a couple of people before, and they're like, oh, well, if it's one person's like reading tastes that you're trying to copy, like if you don't have the same reading tastes as them, then you're not going to like any of the books. But the reading in it is so diverse that I think everyone will find something. And lastly, I just want to show you guys my TBR. I'm planning at the minute 4 books, so I'm not going to read exclusively from the challenge, I don't think, because there will be library books or ebooks or audiobooks that I want to listen to. So I've got 4 off the list. It could be more than that, but we're just going to see how it goes. 3 of these I own, and that's why I put them on my TBR, and then one of them I'm really interested in, so I've got from the library, and then after that I'll see how I can get a hold of these things. First of all, I'll talk about the library book that I have put on hold. It is The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. Trying to remember that off the top of my head. I believe that's it. I'll put a picture in and correct myself if I'm wrong. This is a non-fiction book about a true crime serial killer. So if that's up your alley, there's an option for you. I've heard a lot of good things about this over the years, and when I was flicking through the list again and I saw it was on there, I thought I'm just going to put that on hold in my library and keep it for next month and read it then. All the rest, as I said, I had owned. Only one of them was bought because I think it was on the list and it sounded really good to me. So the other 2 I just happened to buy. I was interested in them and then afterwards found out that they were on the list. The first one I'm sure lots of people have read, or if you haven't read, you've definitely heard of it and might be interested in reading it. And that is The Life of Pi. This is about a boy stuck on a boat with a tiger, and that's all I know. I haven't seen the movie. I just saw this for like 50p in a charity shop one day and was like, this is such a popular book. There probably will be a time in my life when I will maybe want to see what all the hype is about, and at least I'll have it for myself. So yeah, this is going to be my first pick of the readathon, I think. Second, this one I did buy because it was on the list, and when I looked into it further I thought it sounded really interesting. This is My Life in Orange by Tim Guest. And I'll just read you like the first paragraph of the blurb. Imagine growing up with 200 mothers and 200 fathers. What would it feel like to dress entirely in orange? What would it be like to grow up in a commune with daily chants, meditations and muesli on the menu? What would it be like to swap your mother for a whole new orange family? And I think it's about this little boy, Tim Guest, and they go to, this is a memoir, this is non-fiction also, when he is 6 in like the 80s, his mum take him and they join this kind of, I don't want to say cult, but like a communal living situation where they all have to wear orange, and just like all the like women are mothers, all the parents are fathers, and all the children are siblings. Like it's just like a family kind of thing. And I don't know that much about it. Oh, there's pictures in here too. It's a picture of a hallway with nothing in it. But I just think that will be like really interested. I'm really interested in that kind of thing. I thought it sounded good. I got it secondhand online for very cheap. My last one I got at kind of the local take one leave one book swap, and it is House of Sand and Fog by Andre Dubus III. The first thing that drew me to this was how floppy it was. It has a well-worn spine, so obviously one person has had it and read it multiple times or has given it to other people, like you have to read this. it was in the Oprah's book club. Not really what's going to draw me in, but again, makes it seem like it is well liked. And it says it's a riveting novel of unbearable suspense. Three fragile yet determined people become dangerously entangled in a relentless escaling crisis. So there seems to be a wealthy man in Iran who's now a struggling immigrant, so he's come over to America, I'm guessing. So he was wealthy in Iran, he comes here and he's not. Kathy Nolo, who's a troubled young woman whose house is all she has left, so she's obviously in financial difficulties. And Sheriff Lester Britton, a married man who falls in love with Kathy and becomes obsessed with helping her fight for justice. So it seems to be like these three people's lives, and they obviously become entwined for whatever reason or through whatever series of events, and how that all pans out for them. So I thought, I've had this on my shelf, I've had it for a while, and it's on the list, so a good excuse to tackle it. So I've got these three plus Devil in the White City, which is on hold at the library, and that's kind of what I'm setting out for a baseline for the readathon. I don't really do TBRs, so I'm just going to pick 4 now, and then after I finish these 4 I'll see like how I'm getting on. And guys, don't forget when you're planning your TBRs as well that I was going to say February is a short month, but it's not even in February, so that doesn't matter. If you guys are interested in participating, please let me know down below. I'd be excited to see who's going to take on this challenge with me. If you want to share the video also, that would be great to let know people more about it. That's exactly what I was meaning to say. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.